Hello, good morning class. Today, we are going to tackle about the demands of society from the teacher as a professional and as a person. Before we start, here are the members. The learning objectives. First, to discuss the meaning of the teacher as a professional. Second, explain what society demands from the teacher as a professional. And third, explain the professional competencies that a teacher should possess.
Teachers spend at least 6 hours a day, 5 days a week, and 10 months of the school year with students, practically considering the 8-hour sleeping time at home. Teachers spend more time with the students than parents. Teachers have tremendous power to influence students. Society as a whole expects much from the teachers and schools, often when the young do not behave as expected. The question raised by the parents, is that what you're taught in school? Schools are expected to work with and for communities, and so are teachers. From his/her very title, teacher, to teach well is what societal primarily demands of teachers. The learning of the learner is the teacher's main concern. In this lesson, let us focus on the societal primary expectation from teachers: good teaching. The effective teacher makes the good and not so good learner learn. On the other hand, the ineffective teacher adversely affects the learning of both good and not so good student. Consider a few of the following research findings shared by the Dallas Public Schools Accountability System. Having a better teacher not only has substantial impact on students' test scores at the end of the school year, but also increases their chances of attending college and their earnings as adults. The good news is that if students have a high-performing teacher one year, they will advantage of that good teaching in future years. The negative effects of a poor performing teacher on student achievement persist throughout 3 years of high performing teachers. Clearly, a teacher's impact on learners lasts. The teacher is the key to student achievement. Then you have to prepare yourselves to become the best and the brightest, the most caring, competent, and compassionate teachers. The best and the brightest are those that possesses the competencies expected of professional teachers.
Teaching fulfills the elements or a profession, and so a teacher is truly a professional. A professional is one who went through long years of preparation to earn a teacher education degree recognized by the Commission on Higher Education, after which he or she hurdled a licensure examination for teacher, or LET, administered by the Board for Professional Teachers with the supervision of the Professional Regulation Commission. By passing the LET, he or she obtains a license which he or she is obliged to renew every 3 years on condition that he or she can show proof of continuing professional development. The teacher is a licensed professional who possesses dignity and reputation, with high moral values as well as technical and professional competence. Her or she adheres to, observes, and practices a set of ethical and moral principles, standards, and values. The demands from the teacher as a professional. The Code of Ethics for professional teachers spells out the demands of the state, community, higher authorities, and school officials. And parents from teachers. You will discuss them in detail in the chapter solely devoted to the Code of Ethics. In this lesson, we shall focus on society's demand of good teaching from the professional teacher. In the first place, the word teacher suggests that the main responsibility of the professional teachers is to teach the teachers. Primary customer is the learner. So let us concentrate on effective teaching, the professional teacher's primary responsibility. There are a number of models or frameworks of effective teaching. In the country, we have the Philippine Professional Standards for Teachers, or PPST. These PPST are standards of good teaching, which will also be discussed in the succeeding lessons. In addition, we shall present 4 evaluation models of effective teaching here.
So the models of effective teaching. So there are a lot of models, but I would just be tackling about these 2 models. The first one is Robert Mazzarno's Casual Teacher Evaluation Model. So this model has 4 domains, which is First one is the classroom strategies and behaviors. This involves communicating learning goals, feedbacks, and establishing rules and procedures in our classroom. The teachers are addressing content by helping students interact with their new knowledge. The next of the four domain is planning and preparing. So the teacher must plan and prepare for new lessons. They can also prepare the use of technology and also for students who need special attention and education. Next is reflection on teaching. So teachers, they evaluate personal performances such as identifying areas of the students, their strengths and weaknesses. And also, they develop and implement and monitor their professional growth. Next is collegiality and professionalism. So, this promotes positive interaction with colleagues, the students, and the parents. And also, being professional, we need to, I know, teachers should mentor each other's teachers and sharing ideas and also strategies. And the next model we're going to talk about is Charlotte's Danielson framework for teaching. So this is the second model. So this also has four domains: planning and preparation, the classroom environment, third is the instruction, and lastly the professional responsibilities. So under the professional responsibilities, I also had four. It means maintaining accurate and reflecting on teaching and communicating with families and showing professionalism.
So the topic that I'm gonna talk about is the James Strong's TEPES system, evaluating teacher effectiveness. Hey everyone, today we're talking about how teachers are evaluated. Specifically, we'll be looking at James Strong's Teacher Effectiveness Performance Evaluation System, or TEPES for short. Think of TEPS as a blueprint for how good teaching is measured. It uses 7 key areas called performance standards to assess a teacher's skills and how they impact student learning. So here's a breakdown of those 7 standards. The first one is professional knowledge. This checks if the teacher has a strong grasp of the subjects they teach and how students learn best. The next one is instructional planning. This looks at how well the teacher plans lessons, sets goals, and chooses materials to engage students. So the third one is instructional delivery. This evaluates how the teacher actually delivers the lessons, including things like their teaching methods and classroom management. The next one is assessment for learning. This ensures that teachers uses different ways to check for student understanding and adjust their teaching accordingly. So the next one is the learning environment. This looks at how the teacher creates a safe, supportive, and organized classroom that promotes learning. So the next one is professionalism. This assesses the teacher's commitment to their profession, communication, skills, and participation in professional development. So the next one is student progress. This standard looks directly at how much students learn in a teacher's class. So the next one is respectful environment. Macrel recognizes that every student learns differently and comes from a different background, content, knowledge. This one might seem obvious. Teachers gotta know their stuff. Macrel ensures teachers have a deep understanding of the subjects they teach. Learning. Great teachers don't just lecture. They get students actively involved in learning. Macrel looks for teachers who use creative methods, cater to different learning styles, and get students excited about the material. Action. The best teachers never stop learning. Macrel values teachers who reflect on their teaching practices, identify areas for improvement, and constantly seek ways to be better. By using the Macrel model, schools can identify teachers who are making a real difference in their students' lives. Remember, these are just the highlights. There's a lot more to unpack within each standard.
The core responsibility of a professional teacher is to teach, which requires teaching competence as outlined in the PPST and models of effective teaching. To teach effectively, a teacher must, number one, prepare and plan. Develop detailed instructional plans that clarify learning outcomes and select appropriate teaching and assessment activities. Number two, deliver instruction. Execute the instructional plan effectively, leveraging professional knowledge and subject matter expertise. Number three, create a conducive learning environment. Foster an environment that supports diverse learners. Number four, assess and report. You need to evaluate and report on learners' progress. And lastly, demonstrate professionalism. Maintain professional relationships with superiors, colleagues, students, and parents. Instructional preparation is crucial, involving the clarification of learning goals and the selection of suitable teaching and assessment methods. Aligned with those goals, understanding how to teach specific content effectively.
Philippine Professional Standards for Teachers. What is PPST? It is a framework used in Philippines to set clear expectations for teachers' competencies and guide their professional development. It also set guidelines for what makes a good teacher in the Philippines. And it has three main points. First, deep knowledge and teaching skills. Teachers should know their subjects well and understand how they connect to other subjects. They should also use teaching methods that are suitable for students' age and needs based on solid research. Teachers need to be good at using Filipino, English, and local languages to teach effectively. Number two, safe and supportive classrooms. Teachers should create classrooms that are safe, fair, and supportive, helping students take responsibility and succeed. They should manage students' behavior well, both in physical and online class. Teachers should use various resources and activities that challenge students and help them to learn better. Number three, respect for student diversity. Teachers should recognize and respect the different backgrounds and experiences of their students. They should use these differences to plan lessons that meet all the students' needs. Teachers should celebrate diversity in classroom and adapt their teaching methods to help every student succeed.
So in continuation, recognize and incorporate learners' diverse characteristics and experiences into planning and designing learning opportunities. So in our classroom, we aim to create a welcoming and supported environment where everyone's unique backgrounds and experiences are valued. We celebrate what makes each of us different and use various teaching methods to help everyone learn and succeed. This approach helps us all become citizens in our ever-changing world. So the next one is engage with the national and local curriculum requirements to translate contents into relevant, effective learning activities. So follow guidelines from national and local education system to create lessons that are meaningful and interesting for the learner. You should plan and organize your lessons carefully. Sometimes work together with other teachers. Make sure to use different resources to help the learners learn better. You should also clearly share your learning goals with your learners so that they can actively participate, understand the material, and succeed. Apply various assessment tools and strategies to monitor, evaluate, document, and report on learners' needs, progress, and achievement. So you use a lot of different ways to check on your learners' progress, like quizzes, projects, and discussions. This helps you see how the learner is doing and what they are learning. Then, you use that information to make your teaching even better. You will let you know how your learner is doing and what you can work on to improve.
Teacher establish school-community partnership to enhance learning environments and engage the community. They uphold professional ethics, accountability, and transparency, promoting harmonious relationship with the learners, parents, schools, and the wider community. They value personal growth and professional development, maintaining dignity and maintaining qualities like caring attitude, respect, and integrity.
The hallmark of professional. No doubt, society expects the teacher as the professional to demonstrate professionalism in all that he or she does. Professionalism is both a professional and a personal trait. The Code of Ethics for Public School Teachers, adopted in Section 7 of RA 4670, explain professional conduct. It behoves every teacher to assume the maintain professional attitude to his work, and in dealing with his associates in the profession, it should be his self-imposed duty to constantly improve himself. Professionally, criticism, when necessary, should clearly reflect friendly motivation and a sincere desire to uphold the standard of dignity of the profession in dealing with his pupils or students, and the teacher should ever strive to be professionally correct, friendly, and sympathetic.
Lesson 2. The demands of society from the teachers as a person. I am only a teacher. Oftentimes that what we hear when a teacher introduces herself or himself admits a group of other professionals like doctors, nurses, lawyers, accountants, engineers, and etc. When a teacher feels the expectations of the public, then the teacher is easily to judge, not like the other professionals. The professionals teachers have the code of ethics, not like the other professionals that they don't have the code of ethics. When the teachers disobeyed one rules of a code of ethics, then the consequence they faces is their license will be revoked.
The good quality of your favorite teacher is not far from others. So let's compare them to the 12 characteristics of effective teachers. First is prepared. Always attend to school, go early, and always prepare your lessons. Second is positive. Have optimistic attitudes about teaching about the students. The third one is always allow your students step out from their comfort zone and let them express themselves. The fourth one is creative. Make the class interesting, put some effort. Example is a unique visual aids. Fifth is fair. Always treat your student equally and avoid favoritism. The sixth one is display a personal touch. Always approachable to everyone, especially to the students. Number 7 is cultivate a sense of belonging, comfortable. Number 8 is compassionate. As a teacher, teach your students to welcome each other. Number 9 is have a sense of humor. It's better to just vibe the student and not take everything as seriously. Always make your student feel like that you are their second mother. And the 10th, respect student, do not deliberate, embarrass student. And the 11th one is forgiving. Do not hold grudge. When your student made a mistake, forgive them because they are still student and they don't know what they're doing.
These 12 traits of good teacher are the same traits given by the students of these writers. Every time they ask various classes to list down of effective teachers, the most common word is caring. A caring teacher is a fair. As a teacher, you should care your student so they feel being loved. He or she display a personal touch and so is approachable. He or she makes every learner belong and feel welcome. As a teacher, you should be no favoritism inside your class. Treat everybody fair so they feel welcome. He or she feels with his or her student and so is compassionate. He or she is forgiving, does not keep grudges against learners. He or she is humble enough to admit mistake. Because he or she cares, goes to class prepared. He or she believes in his or her students receive high expectation.
Professionalism is very important for teachers, both in their jobs and personal life. The Code of Ethics for professional teachers explain what this means. I will be discussing the Article 11 of the Code of Ethics for professional teachers. So Section 1. Teachers should always behave in a respectful and honorable way. This helps them earn the trust and respect of students, colleagues, and the community. Section 2. Teachers need to value themselves and control their action. This means treating everyone well and behaving properly in all situations. Section 3. Teachers should act in a way that sets a good example for others. Section 4. Teachers should acknowledge and respect a higher power of God as a guiding force. By following these guidelines, teachers can maintain high standards of professionalism, which benefits everyone in the educational community.
The Code of Ethics for Public School Teachers, adopted in Section 7 of Republic Act 4670, cites integrity as one of the essential traits of a professional teacher. Integrity, since this attitude must be a set of example to your pupil or student, because a teacher must be a role model to his or her students and also to his community. The personal traits that being mentioned by Mr. Bactalan, this means that a teacher must be a role model. For instance, some students have problems between students also. A teacher must speak politely to his or her temper should not be triggered by small environmental constraints, but she remain calm and control his emotions in handling adversities.